City Council. I would ask that you all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Norma, in light of the fact we're all gonna die of heat, I'm gonna move through this and note that there's everybody here for this. And move into presentations. Monthly report by the Coolidge Chamber of Commerce.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council. I'm Renee Wood from the Chamber of Commerce. I'll be reviewing our stats for April 2026. We have 3 new members: Action Drug and DNA Services, Connectivity Source, and Explore Pinal County. 21 renewals of membership: 24/7 Fitness, Amastatus, Arizona Water Company, AZ Best Block, Cool HQ, Coolidge Pediatrics, Digital Imaging Systems, Hideout Steak and Barbecue, J.C. Prince, Kenworthy Team at Remax A Bar Z Realty, Kiwanis Club of Coolidge, Ringo Canyon Granite, Shaw's Interior, Sushi Gun, Tire Factory, 2911 Services, Upside Youth Advancement, VFW Post 3713, Walgreens, Walmart, Waste Connections of Arizona. Our visitor count this month, or in April, was 253 local, 18 in-state, 4 out-of-state. The year-to-date total is 1,396. 6,143 referrals were given out in April. Casa Grande Ruins visitors was 8,086 this month, or April. Year-to-date total is 48,918. Pinal Geology and Mineral Museum had 190 visitors. Year-to-date is 779. DAV Museum had 53 visitors, and year-to-date is 311. Update for the month includes the mom event from May. We gave out 95 boxes and had 13 volunteers. We also did the Tri-City Business Expo with Florence and Eloy. We had over 40 businesses participate, and it was an amazing event. Upcoming events: Market on the Move this weekend, June 27th. City of Coolidge Celebration of Fireworks, Free Pool Day. Son of American Legion Barbecue is all on July 4th. Back to School Backpack Giveaway, Papa's Kids in Coolidge PD, July 11th. Welcome Back to School for CUSD is July 16th, and also Imagine is July 20th. Breakfast with the Mayor is July 23rd. For more detailed information, you can always visit coolidgechamber.org. Are there any questions I can assist with?
None from us. Thank you. Okay. Moving to public hearings. Item 4, to receive public comments on the rezoning of a certain parcel of land from agricultural to general industrial I-1, consisting of approximately 160 acres, more or less, and located near the northwest intersection corner of South Highway 87 and East Hannah Road in Coolidge, Arizona.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council. Yes, happy to be before you with this item, this public hearing. I do ask that later on in the agenda that we table item 20. We're not going to go through with the rezone. We're going to bring it back before you for during the July 13th meeting. It'll be a minor general plan amendment along with the rezone, but we're going to carry on with the public hearing. And we do have the representatives from the company that would like to introduce themselves to you, if you'd like that.
Hello, my name is Terrence Street, Street Consulting, and I'm here representing Clark Pacific. The actual person rezoning the property is the holder. We will be the firm that will acquire the property upon completion of the zoning and the minor general plan amendment when all the proper processes have taken place and expired. And then our hope is that we would close on the property within 15 days of that approval and be moving through our major site plan approvals, the city approvals, building permits, et cetera, and be under construction as soon as possible. So I don't know if people have any questions of who Clark Pacific is. We're a precast concrete manufacturer. As much as people sometimes hear the bad word data centers, people do need to build them. And we make a lot of the pieces and parts for those, and it'll be wonderful to hire about 140 people in Coolidge to help us make those pieces and parts for data centers in Tucson, New Mexico, Texas, et cetera. So that's what we're looking forward to, establishing a plant here. Probably initially be using about 100 of the 160-acre parcel that we have. Does anybody have any questions, or if I could provide further information for you, I'd be delighted.
Any questions?
Once you have your approval and you're ready to go, how long till you think you're going to be up and running?
We would love to be up and running by Labor Day, but just depends on the construction, the timing. There'll be a lot of dirt moving and compaction of the soil, obviously, and we'll need considerable amount of water. We're already talking to Ron over at CAIDD to acquire all of those pieces and parts. And we're also working with George Cairo to cross the canal that seems to split our property. We're going to need access back and forth through the Bureau of Reclamation. So as fast as humanly possible, and we may even ask, with the city's blessing, to begin some production even as we continue to build out the rest of the site. We'd like to bring in some portable buildings while we're submitting for permanent buildings, and whatever the city would tolerate us doing, we'd love to get going sooner than later.
Okay.
So, I mean, we're still working with APS and, all the other pieces and parts that it takes to get us, the power. We're reactivating wells on the site. We're going to convert those to industrial. We're going to have to bring septic on because there's no services on this piece of property other than power around the perimeter. And so we're going through every piece and part of that as we go.
How much water usage do you think you're going to
We
have?
will not use that much water. We'll probably use 50 acre feet a year, give or take. And probably a good portion of that's going to be for dust control to be a good neighbor. So the concrete itself is not a huge water consumer. We will need to do some chilling of some of the aggregates and things because obviously we'll probably be doing an awful lot of night work, which is why we like the remoteness of this site that isn't surrounded by a lot of neighbors, so that we're going to have to fight the temperature. Concrete and hot weather seem to go off relatively rapidly together. And we do want it to go off because usually we'll fill a form and strip it the next day or the second day and redo them again and again and again. So it's a very, very aggressive, fast operation to prepare a lot of double Ts and slabs and various pieces and parts that we would eventually truck to the project sites as they may be. So, yeah, and we'll be consuming a lot of local aggregates, reinforcing steel, metal, cement, all the other ingredients that we need to complete our process.
Okay, great, thank you.
Terry, there's not going to be, this location, you're right on the highway in Hannah, right? And there's a stoplight there, so there's not going to be an issue getting on and off the highway, in and out of there.
Well, if someone turns it on.
Yeah. Well, somebody was supposed to work on that. I'm sure they will.
I didn't mean to be starting trouble.
No, there was no reason to until you came along. So,
We'll get it
Yeah,
turned on.
probably what we may be asking the city is we know we're going to have to do some widening on Hannah, but we may be asking the city to not do as much between 87 and the canal because we're going to have to move that head structure of the canal north. And I think it's going to take a little longer to get that approved through the Department of Interior and the Bureau of Reclamation. So we don't have a problem with doing that. We just can't do it and then have to move around ahead. Well, it kind of defeats, it's almost causing more of a problem than us widening from the canal to the other west end of our property and then coming back when we get all the permissions from the Bureau of Reclamation to be able to finish that widening. So we don't know, and obviously that would be with the building department, the city manager's blessing to be able to do that.
okay. Any questions? This is public hearing. Anybody out in the public have anything they want to say?
Nina Arredondo, Coolidge Avenue and 9th Street. I just have a question, maybe it's more geared towards staff, but I noticed in reading the documents, reviewing them, that Hannah Road was called out as a section line road. And it's my understanding that it's a regionally significant route, which is really critical for safety and mobility. So I don't know if there was an error with that or. In the site plan? Okay, all right, I was just curious about that, because I know in ours, we do things a little differently. Yep, thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Sounds like you got that one handled, Phil. Okay. I'm not seeing anybody else approach. I guess we can move out of this public hearing into the next one. To receive public comments on the planned area development, major amendment request submitted by Mr. Joe Horn of Colliers Engineering and Design on behalf of LeSueur Investments and Anderson Capital Partners to amend the existing 3,212 acre project known as the Sandia Pad.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council, we do have Mr. Joe Horn representing Sandia, and they have a short presentation for you tonight.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council, thank you for having us tonight. I'll be talking about the Sandia Planned Area Development Amendment. Before I get into a brief story that I'm always happy to come down to Coolidge because around 25 years ago, my brother was a high school teacher down in Coolidge and coached for the Coolidge Bears. It was it was when they were a powerhouse too, so it's always fun to come back down to Coolidge. So. With that said, again, my name's Joe Horn with Colliers Engineering and Design, representing Ty LeSueur of LeSueur Investments. You can see the location of the property here. It's a little bit south of 87 and west of the city. In regards to project history, I'm going to introduce Ty LeSueur to give you a little brief rundown over the history of the site.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council, my name's Ty LeSueur with LeSueur Investments. For the record, my address, 3850 East Baseline Road, Suite 114, Mesa, Arizona, 85206. The LeSueur family and the Anderson family got involved in this property back in 2015 is when we originally started purchasing some pieces. The first property we purchased was from the Wirtz family, and we started farming alongside David Wirtz at that time in the area. We were then able to go back to Walton International, who owned about 700 acres, and reacquire that property. Essentially bringing all of the property that was owned by the Wirtz family back together into one large piece known as the Sandia PAD, or Planned Area Development. We were excited to be able to put that property back together, as we know it's an exciting project for the city of Coolidge, and have been excited about continuing to work through this process and project over the last 10-plus years. Again, LeSueur Investments, Anderson Capital Partners were family offices. We're right here in the Arizona market and have been here for several generations, and excited to be part of the planning process down here in Coolidge. Thank you.
So in regards to the Sandia PAD community vision, it's similar to the original PAD plan that's existing right now. It includes residential, commercial, shopping, work opportunities in that plan. It's designed to be pedestrian-friendly with community parks and a vast trail system, and designed with sound planning principles that are based on the city of Coolidge's general plan. A lot of the Coolidge's general plan is driving this request. You can see here is the existing PAD And then we have the proposed PAD, and we'll get into some of the details of it, but you can see the existing PAD is kind of internally focused, whereas the proposed PAD connects better into Coolidge, utilizing the general plan as that basis. The original PAD had just under 11,000 units. It had 156 acres of commercial, 73 acres of parks, 36 holes of golf routed through it, representing about 350 acres. Again, it was internally focused and not really connected to the city, and it did have an active adult component. In regards to the PAD amendment, the current action seeking just to amend the PAD. All other agreements will stay in place. Provides a strong connection to the city. It's updated the transportation and circulation plan to meet Coolidge's general plan. We removed the golf course component due to water concerns and market conditions. Introduced that robust trail and open space plan. Plan incorporates the existing platted areas. You can see them highlighted in yellow there. So portions of the site was platted back shortly after the original PAD. And then in regards to the general plan, it's in conformance with the urban neighborhoods, similar to the existing PAD. Again, we use that general plan to drive this PAD amendment. In regards to circulation, this is a shot of the Coolidge's general plan. And you can see there was some challenges with McRae where we teed in all those roads into McRae. And so then you have to tee down, go across to Betchel. So what we've done is end up connecting those roads. So Betchel and Vaquian Road are now one, along with Val Vista and Coolidge Avenue, and then Woodruff and Martin Road. And then we improved the north-south connectivity as well, meeting the goals of that general plan. One thing that came up in the Planning Commission hearing was we did have one out parcel that you can see highlighted in yellow and red up in that corner. The concern came from the owner of that property regarding access to his property. So currently, right now, he gets access through BIA and the canal. So we've self-imposed a condition or proposed a condition that if needed based on current access being removed by the BIA, the applicant owner would provide a temporary access easement to his parcel until time of development of adjoining parcels, at which time an access easement or right-of-way connection to said parcel will be provided. So we do want to make sure that we're addressing the concerns of the community, and we are intent on providing access to that property. In regards to the land use plan that we're proposing, the original had just under 11,000. This one's just under 12,000. So not a great jump in the density of the project. We've got parks and trails open space of 481 acres. So that's a incredibly large amount of acreage for open space. We've got 117 acres of commercial and mixed use, and then the rest is all made up through right-of-way, public facilities, and schools. In regards to the development standards, we're not changing any of the development standards in this PAD. Really what we're doing is just shifting around the puzzle pieces of the neighborhoods based on the transportation plan. So we did not change any setbacks, we didn't change any lot sizes, any of that, it all stayed the same. In regards to trails and open space, as I mentioned, we've got 18 miles of trails in this community that's going to interconnect throughout the entire community, and we've got 481 acres of total open space right now. The trails will also, 18 miles is just shown on the screen right here, which is the primary trail, and the multi-use trail that goes through the site. More trails will be added as we develop the parcels, so you'll have neighborhood parks and trails that interconnect into those systems as well. To give you an idea of how much open space we have, it's more than what you have at the Casa Grande Ruins right now. So our open space will be greater amount of open space than what you see there. Regarding amenities in those, we have 4 community parks right now that represent around 166 acres. We've broken down the amenities into 3 different categories there. So the community parks will have 3 items from category 1. It'll have 4 items from category 2, and then 5 items from category 3. Our goal is to spread out these amenities and have a multitude of different amenities for the residents to use. In summary, the plan enhances the conformance with the City of Coolidge's general plan, provides strong connection to the city through its transportation. We did remove the golf course component due to market conditions and water conservation. We introduced in its place a robust trails and open space plan. We updated the transportation and circulation plan. We updated to meet current market demands. And the plan incorporates those existing platted areas that you saw. Again, it's important to iterate that the development standards have not been changed with this PAD. So essentially, the PAD is similar, just kind of move some stuff around to make it work better for the city of Coolidge. With that, I'm happy to take any questions.
I have a few questions, but I'll wait until after the, this part of the meeting, the public part of the meeting, then when it comes to the action item.
Great, thank you.
Is there anybody in the audience who wants to speak in this public hearing? Please come up.
Hi, you guys. I'm Pat Robertson. I Alligator Farms, and I farm on the north side of the Santia project. And right there on the north side, where my farm is, it's a dirt road coming out there, and we get a lot of scrappers and drunk drivers. And so what I'm asking you is, would you not take my easement, and you guys build your place there, and then I'll block off mine, and we can close off that road right there. You can extend Vaki however you want, because this just comes between that little farm on you guys, and then the farm on me.
Which roadway are you specifically?
I'm right on the west side of Vaki. Vaki and McRae. This is me right here. And that little road right there is a lot of traffic, a lot of bad traffic right there. Okay, just something to consider? Sure. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Anybody else? Yeah, that's a public hearing. Come on up and give us your opinion. I mean,
I'm Dave Giles. My wife and I live on Val Vista. Sir. Yes, sir. Can you get to the microphone? Yes, sir. Dave Giles. My wife and I live on Val Vista. We're basically the only house on Val Vista. Looks like the road on Val Vista would turn right at our house to go into, is that Coolidge Road? So we enjoy our house. We enjoy the peace, the quiet, the serenity, the stars at night, and we don't want neighbors. That's just plain and simple. We don't want neighbors. So we let our parents move out on the property, and that's it. So that's all we got to say. Do you all want to say anything else? Do you want neighbors? No, we don't want neighbors. Thank you.
thank you. Anybody else? Put up here, any questions?
Good evening, Council, Vice Mayor. My name is Don Fitzsimmons. I represent Eagle Rock Enterprises. We own the 24-acre parcel that referred to was not part of the development. I have some major concerns with the planning and zoning issues that I expressed previously regarding notice, when the notice was dated, when it was mailed, and the lack of proof of mailing. In addition, the notice for this particular meeting was dated May 22nd and mailed on June the 4th. And copies have been provided. They say this is a major plan amendment. The original pre-annexation agreement, I think, was recorded in 2005. And the annexation agreement had a map in it that included the loop road over the canal. That loop road went through our property, and the city of Coolidge agreed to condemn it. The existing plan moves that road so that we no longer would have access to our property from the internal roads in Sandia. And that road was in all of the San Carlos plans for the loop road crossings. And, you know, we've been dealing with this for, 20 years. You know, the old map is the map that's in the assured water supply, which is now 20 years old. You know, I think that council should table this and allow, the developer just told me, but I just heard about access in this hearing. They never offered any access from the planning and zoning meeting. So I don't think that this ought to be approved until, all of the details are looked at regarding the transportation plan, because I think it has a detrimental effect to our property, just because they designed the roads to go through their commercial property. And we support the development for Coolidge. We've never opposed anything. It's just that, that the new transportation plan affects our property. And I think it ought to be reprimanded to the planning and zoning department for a proper hearing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else? Okay. All righty. So this public hearing, if there's nothing done further on this one, we'll move out of this and move into number 6, public hearing. This is the second of 2 public hearings on the alternative expenditure limitation, the home rule option, that will be placed on the November 3rd, 2026 general election ballot.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council. I'm here to answer any questions that you or the public have on the potential home rule option. Just a quick summary for anybody who wasn't here 2 weeks ago. The home rule option is our voter-approved expenditure limitation, helping guide the city in how much we can budget per year. It goes every 4 years. We have been successful in bringing in home rule for quite a while. I think the first year was 1986, if I remember correctly. 82? Thank you, Norma. 1982. We're hoping to continue that streak and go 4 more years with the extended expenditure limitation. Our projected expenditures and revenues for the years would be approximately 82 million in 27-28, about 88 million in 28-29, just under 95 million in 29-30, and 102 million in 30-31. Compared to the standard state expenditure limitation, we're looking at differences ranging from 39 million in a year to 47.5 million in a year. So it's a pretty significant difference if this isn't to pass. The basis for doing so would be to allow the city to run itself the way that we have done, keep our services running the same, keep public safety and everything else under our umbrella all running smoothly. And that's a pretty short summary. I'm happy to answer any questions anybody has or dive further in.
Well, the information you provided us, you showed some examples of what it would be like and with our three biggest of accounts, programs got hit. Do you happen to have those with you, or are you going to wait and surprise us all when we get into the actual item on the agenda, or?
I don't have specifics for departments on hand because it's an estimate. Our largest funds are, public safety and public works. Those would be likely to take a pretty significant hit if our budget's to lose 25 million like it could have this year, or up to 47 million 4 years from now.
And I think, well, what was the third largest? Wasn't the fire?
Fire's right in there. Yep.
So public safety and public roads would take the largest hits. And the way the budget works is we always get set a larger cap than what we actually spend.
Correct. Yeah,
In part because we get so much grant money that if you don't have room for it and they award you a grant, you don't get it because
correct.
there's no room.
Yeah, we can only spend so much in a year. There's limitations to make sure the city or any other city in the state isn't wasting taxpayer money. In
Okay.
terms of our proposed budget for this year, which was taken care of a little bit earlier, our total budget's about 76.5 million, and our general fund budget for the year's under 20. So it's a pretty good reflection on, we make sure we take care of our bases, and then we have the additional funds to take care of, our grant projects, impact fees, projects geared toward expansion of the city versus just maintaining what we have.
Okay. Well, thank you, Eric.
Yes, sir.
Public hearing. Anybody else have anything they want to add?
No, Eric, a lot of people don't understand the home rule. So basically, if it's not approved, the state of Arizona tells us how much money we can spend and how much money goes to what department and everything, basically.
That's correct.
So we don't have control of our own destiny.
In the scenario where home rule doesn't pass, that's correct. It's based on a estimate based on Coolidge's population from 1982,
Okay.
which was significantly smaller than now. I believe we're under 6,000 people back then. There's a small inflation multiplier in there, but our budget 4 years from now, if home rule's not to pass, would be about $54 million, and we're at 76 right now. So that's a $22 million cut.
So road repair, police, fire, public works, recreation, everything gets cut.
In theory, I mean, we could prioritize a lot of activities, but there's going to be significant cuts no matter what under that scenario.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, see nobody approach. There's nobody else who wants to speak to this matter. We will move out of this one. Okay, well, then we'll move into business items for consent. Is there anyone up here that wants any of these items pulled off? Oh, yeah. But they've been talking all along. We'll move into the call of the public. Anybody wants to address the council on anything that isn't related to the items on the back, they might get a chance to speak to them then. Please approach us, and you have 3 minutes. Speak your mind. Well, thank you, Mr. Fitzgibbons. Now we're legal. All right, now we'll move out to call the public. I'll move into the business items for consent. Does anybody have any items that they want to be pulled off for individual consideration?
Mayor Thompson, I'd like to pull 10, 11, and 12.
Okay, 10, 11, 12. I think it's 16. Oh, I And I'm going to pull item 16. I have some questions on that. Okay. If there's nothing else, then I guess we'll get going. Item 7, resolution number 26-15, a resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of Coolidge, Arizona, proposing an extension of the alternative expenditure limitation. Item 8, consider approval of reappointment of Honorable Kyle Hobson to serve as a city magistrate for the Coolidge Magistrate Court, and approval to enter into an agreement for the city magistrate services between the city of Coolidge and Honorable Kyle Hobson for a term of 2 years beginning July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2028. Item 9, consider approval of the letter of agreement for professional services with Fitzgibbons Law Offices, PLC, for the purpose of providing legal service to the city through June 30th, 2027. I can't believe nobody wanted to pull that off. Item 13, resolution number 26-17, a resolution of the mayor and the city council of the city of Coolidge, Arizona, authorizing the submission of an application to the Arizona State Parks and Trails Board for Land and Water Conservation Fund grant assistance, committing matching funds, and authorizing the city manager to execute all necessary documents. Item 14, resolution number 26-18, a resolution of the mayor and the city council of the city of Coolidge, Arizona, approving submittal of an application for the Proposition 202 grant funds to the Achin Indian community, authorizing the submittal for the use of the funds to purchase a replacement drinking water supply tank for the Elks Lodge number 2350 in Coolidge. Item 15, resolution number 26-19, a resolution of the mayor and the city council of the city of Coolidge, Arizona, authorizing the adoption of the owner-occupied housing rehabilitation guidelines dated April 2026 in relation to the applications for FY 2026 state housing funds and community development block grant funds for a housing rehabilitation program. Item 17, consider award of bid to Discovery Building Companies, Inc. in the amount of $128,000 for the construction of an apparatus bay to be located at 122 West Pinkley Avenue, and approval for entering into an agreement for construction work between the City of Coolidge and Discovery Building Companies, Inc., waiving the sealed bid process in the best interest of the city, and authorizing the mayor to sign the necessary documents. Item 18, consider ratification and approval of submitting a 2026 grant application to the Tohono O'odham Indian Community in the amount of $135,526.95 to purchase a Skydio X10 drone through Axon.com for the Coolidge Police Department. Item 19, consider approval of amending the city's current salary plan and PD step plan for the fiscal year 2026-2027 with an effective date of July 1st, 2026. That's it.
Mayor
Okay,
Thompson, I move to approve consent items 7 through 9 and 13 through 19 as read.
is there a second? Oh, okay.
What? What's that?
It's 13 through 15 and then 17 through 19.
16, item 16
Oh,
was
somebody
pulled.
pulled another
Yeah.
one? Oh, okay, I'm sorry, yes, I'll amend it what you said.
Okay,
There you go.
thank you.
All right, now we can continue on.
Who's the second?
All right,
I second it.
Thank you.
so we'll need a roll call for those.
Yes, here we go. Councilmember Bagnell?
Yes.
Councilmember Saavedra?
Yes.
Councilmember Hudson?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Murieta?
Yes.
Councilmember Shope?
Yes.
Councilmember Gillespie?
Yes.
And Mayor Thompson?
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. All right, where are we? Okay, we'll flip over here. Item 10, consider approval to unfreeze capital improvement plan, CIP funds in the amount not to exceed $42,295, and approval to enter into an agreement for remodeling of the artisan bathrooms between the City of Coolidge and GLEZ General Construction LLC, waiving the sealed bid process in the best interest of the city and authorizing the mayor to sign the necessary documents.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Navarro. Just a minute. It died. Somebody plug me back in over here. It's not working. Okay, well, anyway, I'll talk loud. Just had a quick question on a couple of things. I know that it says in here that we're demoing the four existing restrooms there, and that we're just repairing the two, so.
So we're demoing 2 existing restrooms that are over there. We're not demoing all 4. So that must be a typo. The 2 restrooms that we're doing are the men's and the women's room that are on the west side of the complex.
Oh, okay, because it just said scope of work on it, it said demolition and disposal of 4 existing restrooms.
Yes.
And then it said, because that was my concern, was what.
Legitimate concern.
So, but, and then the only other thing was, they're only gonna do the tile work and everything, so then I take it, we're gonna do putting all the fixtures and everything back in-house.
Yeah, so building maintenance is, we're going to reduce the amount of urinals and toilets that are in there, especially on the men's side. It's urinals on the men's side, and then overall sinks that are in there. So the building maintenance staff is going to go in there. We're going to redo the countertops, reduce the amount of sinks and urinals that are in there because there's not 15 kids in there at one time. So we're going to choke it down and have a little bit more space in there.
Perfect. Okay, yeah, that was the only questions I had, thank you.
No problem.
So just based off what he's saying, would that need to be revised, from the quote that we got from the company? Because it does say demolition of 4 existing, retiling only 2. That's how it's worded.
I said, I'll be happy to revise it and bring it back. I have no issue with it. The reason I brought it now was so that this money would be taken out of this budget. So if I bring it back to you, the money's going to be taken out of the future budget, and I will have to remove an item that we have on next year's budget to make this happen.
But the quote you got is correct, it's just how it's written here.
It's just how it's written. And I think we could probably, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Fitzgibbons, call an audible on here and say that we'll approve it with demo of 2 bathrooms and retiling of 2 bathrooms.
Well, just because we put it out for that, if they send us an invoice for less money, I mean, if it was for 4 and they sent an invoice for, they only did 2 and it was less money, we're not gonna pay them the entire amount.
Well, I think their understanding is they're only gonna, they're doing the bathrooms, but it's the 2,
It's the 2 bathrooms.
right? So I don't think it would be less money. I think it'd still be
No,
the
it would
same
not be
quote.
less money, so that's why I say it would probably be best to call an audible so we can keep it in this budget, and we can have that adjusted.
Okay, well, that was my point, and I don't know if Councilman Bagnell was, I think he was kind of getting to that, but he speaks for himself, but there's a difference between rehabbing 4 and 2, and you know that better than anybody, but
Yes.
my thing was, if it was for 4, and they expected to get 52, only doing 2, then we would be okay just sending them what they did, half of it, and go from there.
No, that is not the intention of it. And the price lines up with the other bathrooms that we've done with this, and so that was not the intention of it.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, members of council, I think if you want to approve it tonight, you can make that amendment, and we will modify the agreement for remodel work prior to it being signed by everybody.
Okay.
But you guys can make that amendment tonight, so it does get into
So it
this
can go into
budget.
this budget.
Yes.
All right. So whoever makes the amendment, or the motion, let's do that. And since you're getting pretty good at those,
Well, I know, but my,
oh, you don't have a,
yeah, so I should have it on record, have somebody else make the motion.
There's no further discussion. I make a motion, we approve consent agenda item, whether, I don't know, it's poll number 10 with the amendment of that we're redoing 2 bathrooms and not 4. and only paying for 2 and not 4.
Is there a second? Second. Okay, motion is second. Oh, that one doesn't have a, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. I pulled 11-2, didn't you? Consider, item number 11. Consider approval of entering into a cooperative purchasing agreement between the City of Coolidge and Logan Simpson Design, Inc. for the purpose of providing designing services for the Coolidge Regional Park multi-use path in the amount not to exceed $48,680 and authorizing the mayor to sign the necessary documents.
I'll be happy to answer any questions you have on this item.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. It's the Ben Navarro show again tonight. so-
Tonight it is.
Yeah, I just had a few questions on this because, first off, I mean, the little scope and fee proposal says it's a property located at the northeast corner of Skousen and Coolidge Avenue, and I know it's the southeast corner, so, and then it says to develop and create a trail along Coolidge Avenue with lit bollards. But when it says Coolidge Avenue, that means the whole circle around the park, is that correct? It's not
So yes, this is the whole circle around the park. This is the multi-use path.
Right.
That's at Regional Park. It runs parallel with Coolidge Avenue. They're using it as a location area, so they can call it out.
Okay, yeah, and then, I just kind of curious because I guess, we've used Logan Simpson and this, Ardura, who evidently did the survey, the boundary survey and everything.
Yes.
Now, were they also the ones that did the, survey for the dirt work or whatever, the engineering on that, or how?
So yes,
how-
this was the original engineering firm for the park. And so the reason we're bringing this piece back, this is for the multi-use path, and it's requirements for the grant that we received for the multi-use path.
Right.
So they need a little bit of extra engineering in it to meet the standards for the federal guidelines. So it wasn't designed for the federal guidelines, and so that's what they're having to meet. So it's stormwater protection, and other odds and ends that they need for those guidelines. So we're filling this in so we can meet the grant requirements.
Okay, yeah, and these, public projects like this, I mean, I'm just not familiar with all the stuff that you have to go through and everything. That's why I kind of look at these things and I question them and everything. And then I know that we currently have a sidewalk that runs along Coolidge Avenue. And so this is going to be, this is going to be just to the south of the sidewalk, the walking path, or?
This will be on the inside
On the
of the
inside.
sidewalk. And so
Okay.
the trail is its own separate piece. So it's on the inside of the sidewalk, it's on the inside of the roadways. It will, once the park builds out, tie into intersections and the sidewalk and everything. But the majority of this trail is on the inside of all sidewalks and roadways.
Yeah, and then the lighted bollards, that'll be throughout the trail?
Yeah, that'll be throughout all the way around the trail. So that's all included in it.
Yeah, that's good, that's a good deal. Okay, that's all I had, thank you.
No problem.
Okay, anybody else? All right, if there's nothing else, I need a motion to act.
Okay, I've got my microphone back. I'll go ahead and move to approve item 11 from the consent agenda as read.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Move to item 12. Resolution number 26-16, a resolution of the mayor and the city council, of the city of Coolidge, Pinal County, Arizona, authorizing an application to the Arizona Smart Fund for a grant for design and other engineering services match grant development and submission pursuant to Title 28, Chapter 2, Article 2, Arizona Revised Statutes.
I'll be happy to answer any questions you have.
Okay, just a couple, just more of a clarification, because on here it says turn lanes at, State Route 87 at Martin Road, which of course I think everybody agrees that that's definitely needed and everything, so that's good, and there's really no explanation I need there. But then, but is this also turn lanes for Arizona Boulevard, Vakian Road, is that? Because I had a little trouble with the way that it's worded, I just wanted to be sure that I understood what what we're doing at each one of those intersections.
Okay, so there's 4 different projects that are tied to this.
Right.
And so this is backing up another grant that we submitted for, and that's the Safe Streets for All grant. And so there's 4 different projects on the boulevard. It's turn lanes on Martin Road. It's curb and gutter on the boulevard between Vauquie Inn and Walmart. The Vauquie Inn intersection, we're looking for phasing for the turn signals, safety things, backing plates, things like that. So it's not turn lanes, but it's phasing for the intersection, so it actually has the left turn arrows and everything
okay.
like that. And then we're also looking for some lighting and turn lanes down on Bartlett in the 87. And so what this is our match grant for it. So the Safe Streets for All grant is about $4.5 million. This amount right here is our match for that grant. And so we're putting in for this, so that will cover the match grant.
Oh, okay. All right. That's all I had. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve.
Is there a second on it? Okay, Norma.
Councilmember Shope,
Yes.
Councilmember Gillespie. Yes. Vice Mayor Murieta,
Yes.
Councilmember Hudson,
Yes.
Councilmember Saavedra,
Yes.
Councilmember Bagnell,
Yes.
and Mayor Thompson.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay. Item 16, consider approval of entering into an addendum to Aris Payroll Solutions LLC terms and conditions between the City of Coolidge and Aris Payroll Solutions LLC for the HR, payroll, and timekeeping services, authorizing the mayor to execute the necessary documents.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. I can answer any questions you might have.
Good evening, Mary. I was just looking, when I went through the agreement with these guys on page 231 of the packet, but it's item 16B, under 14 general, when you look at the amendments, what I say here, notwithstanding anything herein to the contrary, all fees charged to the client hereunder may be changed immediately and without prior written notice to the client, provided that RS Payroll will notify the client of any such changes as soon as reasonable practical. You know, they've got a ton of changes for everything in here.
Yeah. As far as I know, the price lock we have is for what, 3 years? 3 years. So as far as I know, they shouldn't be changing anything till after that. And they were supposed to let us know before they do that.
Well, but my concern is that they can be changed immediately without prior written notice to the client. Well, there's our finance guy sitting way in the back trying to duck. Come on up here, Eric. Why don't you tell me why we went into agreement, so they could, whenever they felt like it, raise it and we wouldn't even know about it. And it looks to me like we're obligated to pay it.
Well,
From the way I read this contract, no, he's our attorney, but it looks to me like this is pretty wide open. Just do what you want to do and we got to do it, pay it.
Sure. I'm no legal expert, so I won't dive too deep into that. I do know there are similar options out there for nearly any payroll provider. Fees change, cost of goods change, cost of services change. The team at Oris has communicated with us, even in writing, that there's a 3-year price lock, and then the following year, the maximum increase would be 5%. ADP is our current provider. They've increased quite a bit more than that over the last few years. We've had them for 13 years. They've been a pretty solid provider for us, but there's a lack of support and ever-increasing costs there.
I'm okay with that, but I mean, I see, you opened up at saving us something like $29,000 or something, is that?
It's 29% compared to what we're paying
29%,
now.
Okay, but if they can raise it whenever they want, couldn't they recover that fairly quickly?
I suppose so, but they provide us a general rate so we pay a rate per employee, and the more employees we have, the more money they make. But there isn't any plans to increase that rate over the next 3 years.
Well, maybe you better explain to me, I mean, I've read what they're supposed to do, but I mean, I look at, everything's a change, everything in this thing. When you flip the page, they want to they charge you for flipping the page in the contract. It's crazy, so.
It's not dissimilar to what we have now with ADP. The rates change often. Mary, how many years in a row have we had an increase with ADP?
Every year.
Every year for
But-
13 years.
When do they notify you
They
before?
notified me last month, and it changes in July.
1 month notice is pretty hard
But
to work
it
with.
changes in July.
Yes, but there are times that we don't notify, and we found out the other day when we were getting new prices that they had changed the rates.
And then also got told that we weren't having a rate change by a different employee at the same company.
So the two
hard to work with.
that you have experience with changing, however they want to change them anyway.
Sure,
No
and
matter what the contract says.
I think everybody in this building has had the same thing happen with vehicles, fuel prices, everything.
Well, I don't think they have a choice. They don't have a contract when they go to a gas station to negotiate the price of gas.
Sure.
They pay what's there. If it goes up, it's not their fault. We have a choice here.
Sure. Understood.
So I was just wondering if there was something in here I didn't see.
You know,
Have you, I mean,
I think what Mr. Street's saying is it's pretty standard with all these type of payroll providers. And they'll give you notice of the change, and then if the city wants to potentially go out and cancel the contract, we have the ability to do that too. So, but I think most of these providers have pretty difficult contracts you got to deal with.
they all have a pretty significant leverage on the city or anybody they work with, because you're not just going to give up on payroll out of the blue. You got to pay your staff, your
all right,
council members.
let's go about it a different way.
Sure.
Why should we take this one over the one we got? Let's try it that way.
Okay, we can do that. We've done some research. We've, worked with ADP and a few other similar companies. I won't list everybody out because we're in the public here. But, we see a definite cost efficiency, which is great, but that's not the reason we're making the change. The change is on the payroll side, we're having significantly improved support. We would have a individual in our time zone designated to the city. So any payroll issues, direct deposit, you name it, anything that can happen now, that we'd have a designated associate to help us with that. ADP, we get a call center in another country, and communication's difficult, time zone issues are difficult. It takes a long time for Mary or whoever's helping Mary to get something done. Additionally, we are looking to add a unit for human resources in there. This would streamline the onboarding process. It would allow employees to update their tax paperwork, everything that they do on paper now. They'd be able to do it digitally, and wouldn't be at the mercy of one of our one-person departments here being at their desk. They'd be able to submit that electronically, and their department head, payroll, HR can see that within seconds, and we can make those changes as needed. We don't have an exact number on how many hours a year it'll save, but it is pretty high.
Well,
Mayor,
you're
if
right
I may,
about the manpower, so. Anybody have any questions?
And the contract right now guarantees that we're on the same pricing for 3 years, is that correct?
Correct.
And then ADP, we were with them for 20 years,
2013 was when we started.
2013?
Yep.
So about 13 years.
13 years.
And how long of a contract was that for?
We looked at the original contract. I don't think there was a specified amount of years on the term. We
But
just
every year, after the guaranteed pricing, if they decide to come in and raise the price, then we could look for ADP back again, or we go to another company, or,
we could shop it out to anyone, yeah.
okay.
All right. How about
Mayor,
you
if I-
guys? Anything down here? All right, that's all, I found out what I wanted to find out.
Mayor, I can add too, the HR component. And Bridget said if she can get that and what it does, she wouldn't have to hire another person at this time. The software will help her do what she needs to do. So it saves us a staff member to acquire this. So that was a real big part of our conversation, that it was a really good move to bring to you for potential approval.
All right. At least, Eric, at that time, you'll have a chance to compare what she would have paid another person as compared to how much they raise it.
Sure, hopefully so.
So we're doing you a favor.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, as if there's no questions, anybody have anything else? If there's not, let's move on with it.
I make a motion we approve consent agenda item 16 as read.
Okay, motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item seven, oh, did we already do, we already did 17, didn't we? Oh, so we're out of these. So,
20's table?
Yeah.
what's that?
20's table.
Yeah.
All right, still trying to find it. 20's tabled? We need a motion to table it, don't we? Okay, I'm gonna make a motion that we table item number 20 on the agenda.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second.
July 13th.
Okay, we'll table it until July 13th of 2026. All right. Well, it's an ordinance, or, yeah, it's, Steve. We don't need a roll call? We're still on, which one are we on?
You still need a vote, he said.
Yeah, oh, not a roll call? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. I'm just curious, it says it's an ordinance, why aren't we doing a roll call vote on it? All right. Okay. Item 21, ordinance number 26-09, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of Coolidge, Arizona, adopting a planned area development major amendment to existing Sandia pad of 3,212 acres, more or less, located generally northwest of the intersection of Woodruff Road and McRae Road, Coolidge, Arizona, legally described in Exhibit A, which I'm not going to read all of Exhibit A. Although for the record, it's in here.
And it was correct and reviewed by our GIS personnel. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council, we heard the public hearing earlier. The representatives for this amendment are here for any questions. Happy to answer any if I can.
Okay, yes, I've got a few questions. So, first off, I just want to say, I think, not being a golfer, I think removing the golf course from the project was probably a good idea, considering the shape we're in as far as water goes. And so I think that's probably a good thing on this project. And the only concern that I really have is, we are adding additional homes into this thing, and that's gonna mean more traffic. And so I'm kind of interested, first off, I know that there's a portion of the project that had already been platted. Is that going to remain platted as is, or are we gonna be replatting that part as part of the project? And then also, since that's over to the western end of it, which is Signal Peak Road, is that where we're starting with the project, or are we starting down there Woodruff, or which way are we going with this?
Well, thanks for the questions. We will keep that platted area as is, so that will not be replatted. In regards to the golf course, unfortunately, being a past golf course architect, I love golf, but it's just the market conditions right now.
Sure.
And you end up strapping the HOA with some additional burdens as well when you go into golf. So we emphasized that this open space would be for the entire community and not just a golf community. So in regards to the phasing of the project, it hasn't been determined at this time quite yet. We'll most likely start on the southwest portion, and then work our way through the project.
Did you say start at the south
Kind of
end?
in the southwest portion of the
Southwest
project,
portion.
where the platted lots currently are, and then work our way
Okay.
through.
And then when I was going through, I noticed, the streets, they're nice and wide, which I think that is something that's very important. I think we learned our lesson with Heartland, that we want to be sure that our streets we have enough room that cars can get through that, because, and especially, like you said, 11, 12,000 homes in there, that's going to be very important when the time comes. So, along with that, one other thing, on some of these areas, there's going to be, I'm sure that we're going to have to put up traffic signals. And will the developer be responsible for installing the traffic signals within the development? Or will that be the city's responsibility?
So when we go into plating, we'll do a traffic impact analysis on each time. At that time, it'll be determined what improvements are necessary. But if it's all within the Sandia area, the developer will be responsible for the full cost of that signal. If other areas are developed, say on the perimeter, in those areas, then you take a percentage of what the development costs are on that, and the developer's responsible for the percentage he's creating into that intersection.
Okay, and then that's done through an assessment or something, or?
Yeah, it's through the traffic impact analysis study. And then
Okay.
it goes through review with the city planning department. So that's
Okay.
how it's determined.
Okay, thank you. Let me see. I have a little trouble reading my own handwriting here, so let me just go through and.
That's not an uncommon experience for me either.
Okay, and the sidewalks, are they, are they 5 feet wide, or is that
In
what?
places they're 5 feet wide, and then we also have 10-foot wide multi-use trails throughout the project.
Okay,
And then we, as shown in the exhibit for the open space, we have a 25-foot wide trail corridor that will be landscaped with a 10-foot wide trail in there as well.
okay, and then all the parks within the development, they're all gonna be owned and maintained by the association, I take it?
That is correct.
Yeah, okay. So then, but they will, so that will be, can it be restricted for the use of only the residents there, or how does that work?
But I'm not sure that we would restrict the use of that.
Just one clarification. So back in 2005, when the Sandia planned area development was put in place, just prior to the zoning, there was a pre-annexation development agreement that was adopted by the city of Coolidge. In that pre-annexation development agreement, there's actually a dedication of one of the regional parks to the city. So the developer would build it, it then gets dedicated to the city, and the city owns and maintains one of the parks. The rest of the parks would be owned and maintained by the HOA. So just wanted to clarify that
Okay.
based on your question.
Okay, so there is gonna be one of the parks within the development that will be owned by the city, but we just maintain it after it's built.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. All right, and then, just in regard to Mr. Fitzsimmons, I came into the P and Z meeting late, last Wednesday, and I did talk to Mr. Fitzsimmons, not last Wednesday, but the Wednesday before, whenever it was, and I did talk to Mr. Fitzsimmons afterwards, and and he was telling me, in regard to the access issue that he had, and so, being in the title insurance business, I did a little bit more research and everything else. And unfortunately, I mean, that parcel that he has, I mean, it does have an access issue with it. And so, but from what I'm hearing, you are planning on going ahead and working with him to be able to afford him access to the property. Is that correct?
That's correct. We're proposing, at this time, we don't have the level of planning in place that we could specify through a legal description or some other description on how we would provide access. But we're comfortable with extending a roadway, a right-of-way, to the boundary of his property. So that's what we were proposing in that condition that was in the presentation that you saw tonight.
Okay.
Just one other comment on this, if you did some of the title research and understand. So there's a square parcel that's kitty corner to this triangle parcel that Mr. Fitzsimmons represents. The square parcel is a parcel that is owned by the Bureau of Indian Affairs. They acquired that property after extensive archaeological research. They found a ball field and funerary possibilities in that area. The canal is also an old Hohokam irrigation ditch, and so the belief is that there's actually quite a bit of archaeological artifacts along the canal, including this 24 acres that's owned by Mr. Fitzsimmons. So again, the likelihood or the path forward for development in these areas that are impacted by the archaeological impacts are going to require substantial remediation, cultural surveys and remediation that would need to happen. So in order for a lot of that property to be developed, it's going to have to go through quite a process before it can be developed. But having said that, again, we're comfortable putting in a roadway that would provide access and making sure he has the ability to get to and from his property.
Okay. All right. Yes, because I looked and I looked in almost every direction to try to see if there was any type of an easement back there. And this just was kind of a remainder portion that I believe when I spoke to him, he said that his father ended up with it, then he ended up with it. So now he's trying to deal with it, but it doesn't appear that the property had ever really had any legal means of ingress egress to a publicly dedicated road. So I think that's, a good thing that you guys are willing to work with him and to provide that access to him. And then hopefully that will help with the value of his property as well. So, but thank you with that. So, and that's really about all I had. So, thank you.
So I also had questions because we have two residents that have access issues. Will we also take Ms. Robertson's question into consideration?
Yeah, we would be happy to review that. I think one of the challenges that we have is the roadway that she's suggesting, that connection from Vakian Road to Bechtel Road, that connection, are roadways that are anticipated being in place by the City of Coolidge General Land Use Plan and the Small Area Transportation Plan for the City of Coolidge. So while we're very comfortable with the idea of relooking this, I don't feel like it's necessarily my ability to say, yeah, we're not going to build these roadways. This is an issue that citywide would need to make some decisions on whether or not the impact of limiting traffic in those areas is a good idea for the transportation plan or a bad idea for the transportation plan. But these are arterial roadways that have been anticipated going in for quite some time in the general land use plan.
Anything else? Down here?
Maybe just one last comment. I certainly appreciated the comment tonight about not wanting neighbors. And while I absolutely appreciate that, I hope the mayor and council remember that this decision was made back in 2005, right? This property was zoned, planned, accepted clear back in 2005. We're not here tonight asking to rezone property. Well, all we're doing is changing the existing land use plan, moving some of the, as Joe described tonight, moving some of the parts and pieces around to better conform with the city of Coolidge's general land use plan, transportation plan, and ultimately what the market is asking for in master plan communities. So again, some of these issues, transportation related, neighbor related, these are issues that were decided over 20 years ago. And we're here just asking for an update, not for new land uses that weren't anticipated on this property.
Well, thank you. And I don't know if anybody else has any comments, but I think you already did, but go ahead.
Ty also referred to the annexation development plan. This development plan that's recorded from between the city of Phoenix, the city of Coolidge, calls for a loop road that goes through the corner of, near the properties, and through our property, actually, and the city agreed to condemn the property. So even though this has been he referred to earlier about the parks, this map was in the pre-annexation plan. So that was with Sandia and the city of Coolidge. And it was recorded in 9/20/05. So.
Thank you. Mr. Fitzsimmons, and thank you, gentlemen. And before I call for the vote, I know you're going to wonder, I'm going to make a few comments because I was on the council when we did this. And I have some issues going through the current changes. I realize that's all they are, but I see no timeline. The last time that we went through this conversation was, I believe, in 2005, maybe 2006. But I do know the market must have been terrible for the last 20 years because we haven't seen anybody from your organization around very much. But I don't see any substantial info on there's going to be a 40 or 41 acre water campus. Water's becoming very important. I don't have to tell you guys that. But we have no idea. There's not enough information in here that I'm going to vote against this, and I'll tell you, these are two of the reasons. Two of them are there's no timeline, there's no substantial information on that water campus other than it's a water campus. Well, we have to plan for a whole city. I mean, that's a big project, but up here we have to plan for the whole city. And there's no information there on what's going to happen with that, if you're going to treat it out there, or if there's going to be, who's going to get the effluent. There's a number of issues with that, and I'm not done yet, so don't.
Sure, no problem.
Okay. There's issues with at least two property owners, well, one for sure, and then another one that there's going to be issues trying to accomplish what she wants, but still, they've come forward. I think the governor probably did in the golf courses anyway, but, I don't necessarily agree, but that's not it. The right-of-way is not in writing. There's a number of issues that I've noticed in this. I think there's not enough and I know the real information comes later, but if we vote to do it now, then I don't know if we'll be able to change it later. And I'm sorry, and I don't mean to be rude, but Wilbur Wirtz was the mayor then, and I remember this project was going to happen pretty soon. Well, it didn't happen pretty soon, and you guys have been all over the state building things, and you had it right here to build, and you didn't, we're seeing you 20 years later. Fortunately for me, I didn't die yet. So I remember I remember the meeting. And so I'm just saying, maybe you can, but it's not in writing. So as I've learned before, and not necessarily from you guys, people can come up here and tell the council anything they want to tell them. And if it's not in writing, it never happened. And so I'm going to let you respond to whatever it was you were going to respond to, but I just wanted you to know, so you don't have to ask this gentleman over here in the whatever color shirt that is, why I voted the way I voted. So, go ahead.
If you don't mind, I'd love to just respond to a couple of items that you
Sure.
brought up. I think item number one, with regard to where we've been the last 20 years, again, we didn't start buying this property. The first piece we bought was in 2015, so
I have
it's
it
been
right here.
about.
I did a little information. You're right, you're right.
Yeah, so it was an assemblage, right? It was split up between several different entities owned the property. The Pivotal Group lost it to a lender that they had, and so part of the property went to a lender, and it actually took quite some time. We didn't finish buying property until 2021 was when the last parcel was purchased. So it's taken some time to put all of this back together. With regard to your point on the timeline, again, the pre-annexation development agreement does have a timeline in it. There are some defined timelines in the pre-annexation development agreement that we have to live with. We're not asking to adjust the timelines that were agreed upon with this project initially. We're not here asking for that. We're asking to adjust the land use plan. With regard to the water and the water campus, again, back in 2005, 2006 timeframe, when this project was approved, number one, there was a certificate of assured water supply that was approved for all 3,200 acres at Sandia. And in those days, the way ADWR calculated the water requirements for a master plan community is different than they do today. So there's enough water, a certificate of assured water supply, certifying 100 years worth of water for all of the units that we're asking for approval at Sandia. So we do have, you mentioned the water campus, we do have a plan, and there is you can talk to your staff, there is a preliminary water plan and a preliminary wastewater plan that accompanied this planned area development update that we're asking for. So all of that information is available. The city of Coolidge does have that information and can see what the plan is for those items that you were asking about. I think the other just item of note, so again, I appreciate the comments that we received from neighbors, and we're definitely willing to discuss and work out solutions to the extent we can with our neighbors. The property, Mr. Fitzsimmons' property, he continues to reference the pre-annexation development agreement. Just so you're aware, that agreement was between the owner of Sandia and the city of Coolidge. There were no other properties that were included in that pre-annexation development agreement. So while his property is surrounded by the Sandia property, his property was not a party to that agreement, and there's no rights or privileges that are granted to properties that were not party to that agreement. So just so you're aware, so you have the facts, the information, and understand, what you're voting on tonight and the approvals. We've been down here farming. We're happy to work with our neighbors and figure out solutions. We don't have a defined timeline on when we're going to be ready to start building homes, but like you, we're anxious to see things move forward. We've made a substantial investment, and while we have been happy and comfortable farming, we would like to see the project continue to move forward to the extent we can. So you asked several questions. I hope I answered some of them. If you have others, I'm happy to respond to them.
No, not this time, but thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Anybody else? Well, then I guess we're gonna need a motion.
Well, I wasn't on the city council at that time, so really I can't really comment too much about it. And it looks like you doing away with the golf course, which is a major concern. But usually you lay your bed, you usually live in it, lay in it. And, I mean, it doesn't look like he's changing too many things. And we could sit here probably all night long and discuss this, but, let's bring it to a vote and see if it passes or not. So, I make a motion that we approve ordinance 26-09. He is addressing the two issues from the residents or the property owners around him. So, I make a motion that we approve ordinance 26-09 as read.
Second.
Norma?
Councilmember Hudson?
Yes.
Councilmember Saavedra?
No.
Was that no? Was that, no, okay. Councilmember Bagnell?
Yes.
Councilmember Shope?
Yes.
Councilmember Gillespie?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Murieta?
Yes.
And Mayor Thompson?
No.
We have 3 no votes and 4 yes votes.
2.
So, 3. We have Councilmember Saavedra, we have Mayor Thompson, and, oh, sorry, no. 5-2. I'm sorry about that. I can't read my writing.
There's a lot of that going around here tonight. Okay, moving to report from the mayor and council and city manager. Councilmember Bagnell?
This Thursday, we have spaghetti dinner at the American Legion. Winter visitors are gone. It's real easy to get in and get out now. And then coming up, I think they mentioned in the chamber update, July 4th, the Legion is also doing a chicken rib with all the fixings dinner from about 3 to about 7, I guess. And then if you feel like you want to stay, you can have it there. You can take it out. If you want to stay, they even have the outdoor patio now where you can watch part of the fireworks from there. So, but other than that, that's all I have. Thank you.
I have nothing.
I have nothing.
Do you have any comments?
My turn.
Yeah.
Just a minor thing, not to a lot of people, but political signs, I noticed there's a scarcity of them compared to what there were a week or so ago. I don't think the city had anything to do with that, but I'd like to make sure that people know not to come hollering to the city about that, because I think the state might have been the one that had those pulled. Do you know anything, anybody know anything about that, or?
It's just reports, yeah. I mean,
Political signs on the
the
highway?
political signs, yeah. Those are probably a lot of the county and state, so if there's any issues with them, you can contact me, but it's usually the state and the county.
Okay. I could ask Ben that, where his people weren't taking them down, were they?
If it's on state right away, we don't touch them.
We do not touch them, yeah.
All right. Just for the first person that comes to talk to me about that, I'll know what to tell them. Thank you.
They can call elections. The election office will contact the sign owner and have them moved if they're an obstruction or a vision issue.
Well, they've done a nice cleanup job out there. There's a lot of them gone now. Yeah.
Vice Mayor?
I have nothing, thank you.
Gilbert?
Mayor, just quickly, the governor signed into law the budget, about 18.3 billion, I believe it is. So some of the most toxic bills didn't make it, or they were vetoed by the governor, so some that would hurt the city. So that was, talked about that today. And then one interesting item is there was a 3-year moratorium on data center incentives that's put into place as part of the budget. So that's a portion of that. So we'll see what the impact of that's going to be going forward. Parks, the Dolphin swim team, again, they've won a lot. Won the swim meet last week, I believe, so they did really good. And Kid Camp's going well. The court's moving forward now that the budget has been approved, so the OC can get funded for things like the ballistic shielding, glass that we need, and those things will move forward. So that's all I have, Mayor.
All right.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Well, I don't have anything. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Need a motion to get out of here. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you.